I want to get back now, if I can, to Frank Figliuzzi in this conversation. Frank, specifically to you, walk us through what the process is like after an arrest, after a suspect is detained, taken into custody, what law enforcement need to do, what their immediate actions are, right? They try to find out if there's any larger plot, if anybody else is at risk, I trust, but they also try to get to the bottom of what motivated this individual, whether it's going into their computers, into their cell phone, going to their home, and speaking to classmates and neighbors, I trust. Walk us through what that investigative process is like.
Yep, there'll be two different groups that will be set up, an investigative group and an intelligence group. The investigative group has the task right now of doing interviews, determining, for example, who the witnesses were to this. So if the word is out that this happened on the second floor, classroom number 247, they're going to pull a list of students who were in classroom 247 at the time. They're going to reach out to them. It might even start happening even on the football field, but it's going to be a little bit of work to backtrack and say who was there, who saw it. We need names, we need phone numbers. Get everybody individually in a room so they're not hearing each other's statements and start to figure out what happened. Similarly, with regard to pulling security camera footage, was this captured on tape? Can we at least see the shooter entering the school? Where did he come in? Was the school properly locked? Did someone prop a door open? Was there a backpack? Was there some package that the person was carrying that probably was the gun? They'll be doing that on the investigative team. On the intel team, here comes the background, the motive, why did this happen? Let's get a search warrants, because right now the district attorney or state's attorney's office in Georgia is working with investigators to say, let's get a search warrant for the subject's home. If they have a vehicle, if they have a public storage locker, all of that's going to require a search warrant. And that will have to be done very safely, because a lot of times, and Jim Kavanaugh mentioned this, there's a booby trap. There's a device that's waiting for the law enforcement to show up. So interview friends, family, relatives, classmates, witnesses, teachers, guidance counselors, plus all the work going into search warrants right now.
Frank, what are some of the questions specifically that Americans watching right now, parents, should be asking their school district, their school, as they return back to teacher night, back to school night is coming to Meet the Teacher, back to school nights are coming up. What are some of the questions parents can be asking their schools to do everything within their power to make sure that there are precautions and protocols in place to best protect that campus as they can?
I think the number one question I'd be asking as a parent is, does this school have a threat assessment team, and who's on it? I want to hear that the guidance counselors, the school nurse, the school resource officer, and maybe an assistant principal is on this team that can assemble very quickly to assess a concern. Maybe a student, as we've seen before, has written an essay that is really troubling about maybe violence that's imminent. Maybe there's talk that's been reported to a fellow student that's now got to be dealt with. That team should be coming together and should have professional training. It's not enough to just say, yeah, we have a team. What training have they received, and what triggers a law enforcement action? Question number one. Question number two, what is the policy with regard to drills and how often they're conducted and how effective they really are? And are they done in a way that frightens students or in a way that truly offers protection to the students?
Frank Figliuzzi, I appreciate your perspective and expertise.